Hey, what's going on, family? Welcome to a new video. And yes, it's been 6 months exactly since I quit my 9 to 5. So let's talk about it, y'all. So before we get into the details of the video, please like, share, subscribe, all that stuff. But let's get right to it, y'all. So back in November, literally 6 months ago exactly, today is May 18th, I quit on the spot. I typed the email, put in a notice, and quit immediately. It wasn't a 2-week notice, and I'm gonna tell y'all why in a second. But I've been working for the federal government since 2009, July of 2009, ever since I graduated college. Everybody I knew all my life, they all worked a 9 to 5. I never, personally knew any full-time entrepreneurs who worked for themselves. So that's all I knew at the time. I wanna break this video up into 5 different parts. I wanna give y'all a recap of why I actually did quit my 9 to 5. I never really got into the details. For the people who are close to me and know me, y'all know why I quit. Number 2, I wanna talk about, what changes that I have to make since I quit my job, mentally, my daily routine, things like that. And 3, the progress, things I've been able to accomplish in these last 6 months. I wanna talk about that. I wanna talk about things that I actually miss about my job as well. Number 5, I wanna, give some advice to people who might be thinking about quitting their job in the next, maybe this year, 2023, maybe next year. Number 6, I wanna talk about future plans or goals that I have for myself now that, I don't have a job and I don't plan on ever having to get a job again, knock on wood, God willing. So let's get right into it. All right, y'all, so let's talk about why I actually quit my job. Again, if you close to me, you already know, but since 2012, y'all, I've been in the real estate space and I've always been doing this on the side. Some years have been better than others, but I always felt, comfortable and secure because I always had that 9 to 5 in the event that I made a mistake doing a real estate deal or whatever the case may be. And there was a lot of mistakes along this journey. So I've been making 6 figures on the side literally since like 2015. The thing about it is, a lot of people probably would have quit. They had a business on the side, but for me, it wasn't always consistent. And I love security personally. I do love to know that my check is going to be $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 every 2 weeks. It's definitely good to know that to know what your check is going to be, but at the same time, it keeps you stagnant and it keeps you inside of your comfort zone, which won't really allow you to reach your full potential as what you can do, as a person and as an entrepreneur. So I knew that time was coming. I was getting the itch. And what really made me, start looking forward to quitting was the fact that I was becoming a lot more busier in my real estate business than I was at my actual job. And I've been making more than I was making at my 9 to 5 for a long time. It's things that I used to think about, like a 401k that my job, basically paid for. Health insurance, dental insurance, life insurance, things like that the job paid that for some reason, I just always thought those things were super expensive to pay on my own. So I just never even entertained of becoming full-time. On top of that, y'all, my job was fairly flexible and pretty much easy. I've been doing the same thing for years, so I knew how to do it. I started, definitely lacking. When I say lacking, I'm talking about not being a good 9 to 5 worker. Of course, I got coworkers following me on social media. I'm looking at properties 10 a.m. on a random Tuesday, and they trying to figure out how I'm able to do this all the time. So it was starting to get back to the managers. And don't get me wrong, man, I've been written up a lot of different times throughout my government career, but nothing crazy to where they was gonna fire me. A last incident I had in which, definitely was, moving, shaking in these real estate streets, and I can tell that things was starting to heat up. So instead of it getting to a point where they start investigating and see what I'm doing on the side and just all getting in my business, I said, you know what? This is my sign for me to go ahead and just quit. So literally, I think it was a Wednesday, I sent the email and I quit right there on the spot. No 2-week notice or nothing. And I don't regret it at all, y'all, at all. So that's the reason I quit. Again, if you know me, I've been making 7 figures a year since 2020. So I made 7 figures in 2021 and 2022, and I made about 600, 700,000, something like that in 2020. So my job only pays me, not only, right? They was paying me $120 a year, which is a large amount of money to most people, but it just wasn't enough for them to take control of my life, man. The freedom I just always felt like I wasn't fully free. So definitely had to make that move. So since I quit my 9 to 5, it definitely have been some changes that's been made. First and foremost, mentally, knowing that my check is not coming every other week. It's something I had to get used to, because remember, y'all, I worked a job for 13 years and I was used to getting paid. Rather I worked harder, rather I worked less, it was the same paycheck, and I can predict and I can plan according to that paycheck. It's not like that. Every month looks different. One month I can make this much, next month I can make this much. And some months are better than others. And it makes it more difficult to plan for different things, right? I still got to plan for retirement, my daughter's school, just different things that I got to worry about. Like I was saying earlier, health insurance, life insurance, dental insurance, retirement, all of those things now got to come out of my pocket. Whereas though when I work for the government, they pay for the majority of that stuff. So my financial planning has to be that much more on point, because I'm the one responsible for setting up these accounts, putting money in these accounts every single month. You know, I'm 36 years old, so of course, right, I'm still fairly young, but we all gonna get old one day, and I wanna make sure that my properties that I own and my retirement accounts, is enough money in there that I can take care of myself and my family without us having to worry about anything. And that takes some discipline, y'all. When you got a 9 to 5, it's a lot easier to kind of fuck off your money every now and then, because you know that check gonna come again in 2 weeks. Whereas though with me, I can't go that route, right? I gotta be on point all the time with the finances. Don't get me wrong, I still make mistakes, but it's more of a mental thing where you're working real hard, but sometimes you might lose money, right? I got employees under me, and they always got to get paid first. So sometimes I might not get paid, y'all. And that's the mental battle you got to deal with being an entrepreneur. My daily routines, y'all. You know, you are forced to wake up and log in your computer or go to work when you got a 9 to 5. When you are by yourself, man, you really got to be disciplined to get your ass up every single day and put in that work. There's no days off. I mean, one time, like two months ago, I got sick, and I had all this stuff to do, and I just couldn't do it. Like physically, I was out of it. I couldn't do it, and I felt that, right? Ain't no sick leave and you still get paid. Like, you got to get up and go get it. So those things, man, you really got to be prepared for. And you got to be disciplined. So I got to go to the gym every single day still. I try to wake up at 7 o'clock every single day, and I try to be to bed by 11 p.m. every day. Ain't no really staying out late and playing around, playing a game all night. You can't do that, because you're going to feel those effects for the next day. You won't be productive, and the next thing you know, it's affecting your income. So it's important that you be super disciplined, and you got to force yourself to be a planner, to plan for the next day, the next week, the next month. You got to plan that stuff out, because again, it's going to affect your bottom line and the income that you bring in. Let's talk about things I've been able to accomplish since quitting my 9 to 5 6 months ago. So of course, I don't have a 9 to 5 no more, which means it's less on my brain and I have more time to do things, right? The level I was going at before with the 9 to 5 was nowhere near my potential. The finances is fully on me. I proved to myself that I'm capable of doing a lot more than what I used to do. As far as properties I've sold and the time I've sold them, how many properties I've sold, the money I'm making every month is way more than when I had that 9 to 5. Because again, when you out the mindset of I'm getting a paycheck every 2 weeks and it's all on you and you got to get up and go get it, everything changes. Like mentally, you just can't be the same person. This is the thing about being an entrepreneur as far as the money you make. You are responsible for your income, which means it's no cap, right? So depending on how hard you work, depends on how much you get paid, which is a gift and a curse, because it's solely on you. But at the same time, it's no cap, y'all. When I work for the government, I might have got a raise, $2,000, $3,000 raise, every year. But at the end of the day, that's only like a $40 difference in your paycheck. Whereas though I can make $100,000 this month, and if I want to, if I put in the work, I can go make $150,000 the next month. And that's all on me. So that's the beauty and a curse. It's both things when it comes to that. Again, if you're not fully prepared mentally and disciplined, entrepreneurship is not for everybody, because I'm my own finance department. Don't get me wrong, right? I got people who do my bookkeeping and my taxes and stuff, but I still gotta oversee like all these different things: hiring people, firing people, bookkeeping, systems, operations, contractors, all kinds of things I gotta oversee. And you really gotta have a sharp mind. So, you know, if you the type that can't wait to go to happy hour every weekend when you got your 9 to 5 and get drunk and everything, you might want to think twice about doing that when you're working on your own, because again, all that stuff really affects you in your bottom line, and it's going to affect that income, especially if you the sole breadwinner in your household and you taking care of the entire family. You got to be on point at all times. Let's talk about things that I do miss about my 9 to 5. And honestly, y'all, I don't miss nothing. I ain't exaggerating. Matter of fact, I miss these omelets they used to have. When I used to have to go into the building, in the kitchen, they used to make these omelets, man. Them omelets was all that. Outside of that, y'all, I promise you, I don't miss none of the coworkers. Well, I do got one friend, my guy James, man. We still communicate though. That's still my guy. But outside of him, I really don't miss nobody. I don't miss nobody there. I don't miss going there. I don't miss looking at none of those people. I don't miss the walls. I don't miss the smell. I don't miss nothing about that. Some of y'all might be thinking, do you miss the checks every 2 weeks? Yeah, it's cool, but I mean, I make a lot more than that. So I'm not tripping. I'm not tripping over the check that it was providing me every 2 weeks. I legit, y'all, don't miss nothing. It's crazy to say that. Sit back and you think like, damn, I've been working at a job that I didn't give two shits about for 13 years, bro. 13 years. I ain't care about nothing about the job. I ain't care about the mission. It didn't do nothing for me. Which is, I knew I had to get up out of there. I couldn't, no way I could have stayed there till I was 60, 70 years old. So I don't miss nothing, for real. The omelets, that's it. For people that's looking to quit their job in the future, man, this is what I definitely want you to understand, right? Let's say you make $100,000 at your job and your business on the side make $100,000. Understand that it's not equal, y'all. Again, you gotta take into consideration taxes, health insurance, life insurance, dental insurance. If you put away, if your job is providing you 401k match and retirement plan, you gotta be the one doing it out of that 100k now. So those things come out of that 100k. So don't just think that this 100k equals this 100k. It's not. In my opinion, if you make 100k a year at your job, I would strive to reach maybe 150,000 as an entrepreneur, because there's some hidden costs in there that a lot of us don't talk about and don't speak on. But in reality, you will feel the effects if you are full-time, which is, I kind of knew about them, but I didn't fully plan for those things. When you're a full-time entrepreneur, you are responsible for paying your own taxes. Unlike a 9 to 5 where those taxes come out your check already and you probably used to getting a refund check. When you're a full-time entrepreneur, 9 times out of 10, you're gonna be paying money every single year. Don't expect a refund check. Expect for you to be cutting a check every single year, which is something I don't like at all. But it is what it is. The time commitment, y'all, especially if you got a family, a girlfriend, wife, husband, whatever the case may be, you will spend less time with your family because, again, you have to. Your check is not guaranteed. So until you get at a point where you're making so much money and you got all your systems automated and things like that, you will be working a lot more than when you only just had your 9 to 5. You will be working probably double the time. If you work 40 hours a week at your 9 to 5, starting out, you're probably gonna be working 80 hours a week on your job. So if time and spending time with your significant other is an issue, with your 9 to 5 is gonna be a bigger issue when you don't have a 9 to 5. I had to go through that myself. And your time management really gotta be on point if you wanna spend quality time with your kids and your family, because that check, man, is all depends on how hard you going in the paint to go get that money. So as for me, my future plans, I just plan on growing all three of my businesses. So I have a real estate coaching business, a real estate rental business, my rental properties, and then I have a rehabbing business where I buy properties, we renovate them and we resell them. Now, I'm not the one, who's overseeing all that stuff. I got partners and stuff, but they my three primary businesses. And of course, I got income that come in from other different things, from dividends and just different plays I make on the side. But they the three primary businesses I have, and I just plan to just grow all three of them for the next 5 years at least. I'm just want to just grow all of them. The coaching business is already $1 million business. The rehabbing business. So when I say rehabbing, I put rehabbing and wholesaling in the same bucket. That's damn near at $500,000 a year. And then my rental business is a little different, right? That's rental income. I want to get that to $100,000 of passive income net every year. So that's my goal moving forward, and I don't see why I can't do it with the resources I have access to. And one more thing, y'all, I didn't cover this. Before you quit your job, try your best to get your credit right. Try to get the highest credit score as possible and try to apply for as many lines of credits as possible so you can have access to a lot of capital. And you want to make sure you take advantage of that 9 to 5 when you're applying for all of these credit cards, lines of credits, whatever it is you are trying to apply for. Just take advantage of that because those things are going to come in handy for sure. So I hope this video helped y'all. Again, man, I'm super blessed and I'm super thankful that I was able to quit my 9 to 5 and be able to still, live a good life. And hopefully we can stay unemployed. Like my hoodie say, man, rich and unemployed. Hopefully I can stay this way, knock on wood. If I got any questions, put them in the comments. I'll be more than happy to answer them. Let's get it, y'all.